season clothing. Let me show you around the place, man. Come check us out.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Welcome to the Half Court Podcast. My name is Darwin. I got AV behind the camera, and today we got the season entourage, man. We got the one and only Chop. Hey, brother, welcome to the Half Court Podcast, man.
Appreciate you guys having me,
you
man.
You brought your team here, you know what I'm saying? So kind of introduce them, man.
Definitely. Of course, I got my right-hand man right here. This is my nephew, Jay Boogie, man. He holds down the fort. He's literally the jack of all trades, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's literally been there since the beginning, since we really broke the surface on the brand. Just kind of give you a little history on him, man. He started out, just folding apparel, and he went from that to kind of keeping the screen printer kept.
Yep.
Then we moved into the retail location. He started keeping the inventory. And then from there, he pretty much runs the entire flagship location. So this is my nephew, Jay Boogie.
So we got Jay Boogie in the building.
Definitely. Yeah. Then, of course, we got my son right there. That's King Caden, man.
Hell yeah.
Also, he's
dripping,
he always stay fresh.
He dripping.
He definitely inspiring, too, because he makes me pay attention to see how the young bulls are putting it together.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? He's original. He also puts, like, the neck labels and does a lot of prep work to the apparel.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? He's 11. He'll be 12 next month. And, he's learning how to run a retail, location by himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's what's
definitely.
up, man. Yeah.
Then, of course, we got the infamous DJ Grind Daily.
Yeah.
Now, if you know anything about Chop, that's like my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to the history of me, he's embedded into the fabric of it. You know what I mean?
he was rocking that music Saturday, man.
Man, definitely, man. With me being the big of O City, he's Pub Daily.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's my right hand man. He's been a part of the brand since the beginning. However, he's taken a more upfront role, as of 2021. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get it to the masses at a larger pace, and he's gonna definitely assist us with that. So, Brian Daly.
So, if you guys don't know, just in case, as you can see, we all seasoned up. Chop, tell them what we got going on here with Season and what's Season all about, man.
First and foremost, Season is a streetwear brand based on basically hip-hop culture, streetwear culture. I wanted a brand that represented me and people like me, you know what I mean? Full of flavor, full of life, full of energy, but at the same time stood for something. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just didn't want to throw some shit on the shirt. I wanted it to make logical sense, you know what I mean? So we started the brand in 2017, October 27, 2017. And it just started with a couple tees and then just kind of grew to what it is today, you know what I mean? But
could you break down the word, like seasoned? How did you come up with that and why?
Like I said originally, I wanted something that represented me. I had been a part of the streetwear culture subliminally through music. So when I wanted to insert my way back in, I wanted to let the people know that I've been here. You know what I mean? I'm not a new cat. So with me being a vet, why not, call it Season? And then, of course, when you get to the basis of it, like I said in the shop, but I don't care how much sauce you have, you got to be full of flavor. You got to be seasoned. It's just a part of it, and I just feel like that ties and it sticks to people like me. And, we just ran with it,
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
I feel like it sums up a lot of the work you've done, man, because I did my research and you've been, I saw, that was Scissorhands cutting you up outside the barbershop?
Yeah, that was my first video, if I'm not mistaken. That was Red Dirt, you know what I mean? In fact, that was Grind Daily in that chair back then. He had the Mohawk back then. He was Mohawk Hogan, you know what I mean? So, that was 2007, I want to say 2007, 2008. And Boomtown actually shot that. Boomtown had shot.
What we talking about? A music video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boomtown actually shot that. It came from Houston, Texas. If you know anything about
Boomtown, that was my motivation to shoot videos.
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
Boomtown, man.
Yeah. He came from Houston and shot that. Yeah, definitely. Major video right here in the city. You know what I'm saying? Shot right there on the east side. So
yeah, we were AV and I were looking at the other day. We were looking at an old video. Do you remember which one was it?
I watched. I think it was Red Dirt.
Was it? Yeah, that shit was. Yeah, that was cold, man. It kind of gave like that old school vibes. Is like, like kind of brought me back because man, I used to be the one that would watch. This was back in Puerto Rico. We had a channel that would put music videos on. Right. I don't remember which one it was, but they always would put like the old school like like T-Pain, Lil Wayne type shit.
And I mean, Boomtown is like, he had that look, like the videos, you it's almost like, it's a Boomtown video.
Right, he shot some historic stuff from UGK, to Gucci Mane,
and he was like
to everybody.
He was like from the hood. That's what was crazy, that he was
He's
putting
from Port
like
Arthur, man, for real, dude. And we met him in Houston, and we put together the play. He flew down with his whole team, man, and back then, they had to bring all the production stuff. It wasn't like a nice camera. They had
it wasn't just a jib and a little camera.
They pulled up with a box truck full of stuff. You know what I mean? And shot a major video right here in Oklahoma City. So
hell yeah,
it was amazing.
You guys been one of like the pioneers when it comes to the music shit. So before you did the clothing thing, you were doing the music thing. Right. So what got you into the music?
Right. I'm gonna be honest, man. I come from the street. I literally come from the street, and being from Hugo, I was around some cats that was doing music. Yeah. I was pretty much just hustling and kind of helping fund what they were doing and just being around it. And
because you were born and raised here?
No, I actually was born in Hugo, but I spent majority of my life in Northern California. Yeah, in Stockton,
Hugo,
California.
I'm pardon my ignorance. Where's Hugo?
Southeast Oklahoma. It's right on the river.
Okay.
Literally, right on the Red River. You know what I'm saying? You literally can skip across the river and be in Texas.
What part of California?
Northern California.
Northern California.
Yeah, Stockton, California, to be exact. Not too far from Oakland. You know what I mean? It ain't the Bay, but it's Northern Cali. It's the Valley. You know what I'm saying?
Would you say that California vibe got you also like kind of on the clothing streetwear? Like
not necessarily. You know what I mean? California just kind of gained me up to come back to Oklahoma and Texas. I feel like I was just a step ahead. You know what I mean? Than everything.
Would you say you're the same generation as E40, Be Legit?
Nah, that's way for me. I was a kid when I met them. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. They the big dogs. You know what I mean? But I grew up on that though. Okay. I grew up on the influence, the independent, seeing that in Northern California, like
it kind of rattled up the scene, like the hip hop scene.
Hell yeah, especially being raw. You know what I'm saying? So I came back, and then I kind of started. My thing in the streets. You know what I'm saying? This is before music. I had never thought about. I wasn't a kid in high school freestyling, and I wasn't doing none of that. I loved it. I loved everything about the culture.
So you didn't let nobody know, like, I'm doing this shit?
I didn't have a desire to rap. And, like, even when I go back, funny thing is I can go back and look at my yearbook. When I graduated, the shit that I was talking about is this shit I'm doing. Like, I want to be a boss. I want to be Birdman. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest, like, that rap was cool. But Birdman, who I was like, oh, okay, I want to be Master P. Yeah. The artist was cool, but I wanted to be the guy behind the scene with the big bag. You know what I mean?
Right. So that's how I kind of... Rice as a boss.
Yeah. He did his research. But I always wanted to be around. I didn't want to rap. Me being around rappers in the studio, that's how I kind of started rapping. You know what I mean? And I didn't start rapping until 2003. Before I even thought about it. Yeah. And it just happened.
But you used to like write songs back in the day, or it was just something that you like, all right, I'm hanging around these rappers. I need to.
It kind of happened fast. Hanging around them. Yeah. Just watching what they were doing, seeing the response they were
getting. Did somebody encourage you? Like, hey.
Yeah, my partner Lil Rick. Shout out to Lil Rick, original Soul Thorough Click. Being in the studio, watching them do their thing, and like, okay, playing around with it a little bit, freestyling a little bit. And they like,
is it when he heard you freestyle? That's when he was like,
in the
shit.
Studio, like, you good. You really dope. You should do this. You know what I mean? And I started playing with a little bit more recording. Shout out to Cheetah Tho, my boy Cheetah Tho from Soul Thorough Click. He had been doing music. He was a producer. You know what I mean? And I used to go to his dorm room and record and just, play around with it. Yeah. But I'm a hustler, so I'm thinking like, okay, if we gonna do this, we gonna do it. So I started looking at like, how can we press CDs and like get our name out there. Now I'm already 2 feet in the street. Yeah. So I'm already kind of connected with what make the thing go. Yeah. I kind of started pressing CDs and started building a buzz. And from there, I was addicted. I started to see like people fucking with it. I'm selling CDs. I'm getting a small return back then.
So what was your hustle and strategy to sell these CDs?
Do the same thing that made me. Like, I'm a people person, for you. So I'm going to go to where the cars are. I'm going to go to the trap. I'm going to go places I probably ain't got no business. But I'm on the front line with it, you know what I mean? And I believe in it, and it's dope. And a lot of the time...
would you say times have changed, like, in that aspect? Like, rappers, they can't... I wouldn't see that happen in
they got the internet now. They don't have to, but I think they should still.
Yeah.
The internet is like a tool. It don't substitute for it.
So you
I was
say,
on the front line. I was outside.
yeah, you say you're a people's person, but you're also good at sales. Did you have a job that involved sales?
I had a lot of jobs, man.
That involved sales?
That's another thing too. A lot of rappers be lying. Like I had a lot of jobs. I had a lot of regular jobs, bro.
Yeah.
And, give me a second.
Was there one that involved like sales? Like, hey, you got to sell
All
this
of
shit? Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
From street pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
To my first hustle. This is no cap. My first hustle, man. I used to pick pecans, man. Like I'm from the country, so that was something that was, I would get the pillowcases and we would go climb trees and shake the pecans out the tree, and we would go sell our pecans at the end of the day. But sometimes we would get there to sell them, and like the smokers would be there, and they be done sold all their pecans, right?
Yeah.
So they don't want to buy mine. They bought enough for the day. So I had to think like, man, I either got to outwork them or I got to outthink them. So what I started doing was I would go to the pecan shop, like the lady that would buy the pecans before they open, and just be like, what can I do to where you just buy them from me versus them? And she like, well, you think of it, So I'm thinking, you can get me 50 cents cheaper, but you only got to buy from me. I did that at 12. I was smart enough to know that at 12. And she's like, well, how many can you pick? Okay, well, let me go get a team together. And I would go recruit my cousins, friends, and family, send the little ones up in the tree.
Shit.
We would pack them up, and I would give them. I learned that at 12. I
So-
knew then that I had the power to kind of like figure it out.
Would you say that's like some just some DNA shit that's in you? Like,
Definitely. My father was a hustler. My father come from that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to my father. He passed about 4 weeks ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But he was a hustler all up and through the South. He originally from Mississippi. You know what I mean? And he come up to Oklahoma and met my mother, of course, in the 80s. But, yeah, it's in my DNA. Yeah. Anybody know about my father, they'll tell you. Like, he gets it honest.
Because at the age of 12, doing all that, it's like you also had like leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that
my
age, it was
my
like,
mother instilled that into me.
Yeah.
Definitely early. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell, like, I'm on the heavier side of things. And I just didn't get this way. I've always been a dark-skinned, heavy, and we have a lot of money. So, of course, I didn't have the drip, you know what I mean? So, my mother always instilled confidence in me. Yeah. So, regardless of what I had on or what I had, I always had my confidence. I always been a leader. Yeah. This is something that had just been built in me. So, yeah, at 12, I was making those kind of decisions that kind of led me to, just other things and mastering it. You know what I mean? As far as selling. But I've been selling literally my whole life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whether it was a product or just my lifestyle. Yeah. So that card is natural. It comes easy for me.
oh, yeah. So you said you went to the studio. The homie said, all right, you got to go start rapping, bro. Like, you got this shit. So, like, where did it go from there? Because you also say you hit the streets.
Yeah, I started dibbling with it, like pressing CDs, independent shit, doing local shows. Shout out to my boy Young Villain, man. I met him. He's from Tulsa. He the first person to take me to Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just tearing the streets down, like the mixtapes, and trying to figure it out. And then I started coming to Oklahoma City, and I noticed the scene was like, I had ties to people through the street who were rapping and could get me in some of these places and clubs and meet me, introduce me to certain people and DJs. And I would come every weekend. I was just fascinated by, like, damn, Oklahoma City got that shit. You know what I mean? So me and my boy Dirty, man, shout out to Young Dirty, original Soul Throw Clip.
Do you think they underestimate Oklahoma, like, when it comes to, like, artists coming down here and doing a show?
Give me a look, like...
Because now it's... little by little, artists have been coming down here.
It's been like that.
Has it?
Swear to God. It's been like that.
Because they go to the small areas. Like, the Criterion is a little bit smaller than, like, doing a Chesapeake.
That's like the new wave of shit.
That's just because the money hip-hop ain't what it used to be. But when I came here, like, they were doing the biggest festivals ever.
Yeah.
I met Nipsey Hussle right there on the east side when the gang was at Zoo Amphitheater. Packed.
Yeah, Oklahoma's...
Like, that's been there. I met, like, Snoop and all them when they were doing the festivals here. Like,
so what year? What year was this when you were seeing that Oklahoma was culture?
I made it
here?
to Oklahoma City in 2005.
2005.
And I was like, what the I needed to get here. I remember going to Yin Yang Twins concert And Lexus, when the line was wrapped around the building, thousands of people, upstairs, downstairs, like, you know, like seeing local acts up there, like, what the fuck? I remember seeing Meant to Be at that show.
Meant to Be.
Man, R&B group, R&B cats from here, like, they been here, they vets. I remember seeing them at that show, like, what the fuck? Like, they from the city. And I'm just, like, trying to get my shit off. Like, I need to be here. So, of course, they gave me the fuel, you know what I mean? I knew once I got here, you put me in the right situation, I'm a hustler. I'm going to figure it out. You know what I mean? So I just had to get here. And I got here and everything literally went south fast. Oh, you know what I mean? Shit. I had a whole plan of what I was going to do to take over the city, and none of that shit worked.
Damn.
None of that
what happened?
Where did you miscalculate?
How much it cost to really get into this business.
Like the music shit?
Yeah, I come from the street and I was fueling myself. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have like no big team in the beginning. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck, I ran out of money fast. So I had to go right back to the street. Like, what the fuck? Let me figure this shit out.
Yeah, it's
I had to get a job and everything. I was sleeping on my sister's couch, like literally. Like it went from me living like almost a rapper lifestyle back then before they knew who I was to coming to the city and like, fast.
Yeah. And that's why you was like, I gotta switch shit up.
Hell yeah. Then like as far as my team, we had a clique, So Throw clique. I probably was the weakest link when it come to rapping, but I knew I was a hustler. I knew. My boy Che the Throat, he went to Chicago. He's a producer, so he had an opportunity up there. He was gone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, that left us to figure it out. My boy Dirty, he went to Texas. I'm like, damn. So I guess it's just me.
Yeah.
But that time, it allowed me to kind of focus on me and my craft, get my sound right, and just like grind. And that shit was the best shit ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Go
ahead. No, go ahead.
At what point did the presidential trap house come about?
Right around that time, I had been beating the streets up. And shout out to Chief, man, from Presidential Trap House. I've been knowing Chief for years, but, you know, that's through the street. He knew, like, me up that, like, oh, no, he a real one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Chief had a relationship with my sister. They was tight. So, of course, I was always around him. Now, I wasn't like, hey, check my music out, because Chief was hot. Chief come from the Nitro umbrella. And, like, this is my dog, but I never brought him my music. Like, let me get on. I wanted to earn that. Plus, I wanted my own. You know what I mean? But organically being around each other, of course he's going to hear. He's like, damn, what you doing with it? And I'm just trying to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? And long story short, him and Mike Smiley put together PTH. And my sister rented him a car, man. I mean, like it was yesterday. And I had to drive a rental car back. But I had a MP3 disc, one like some freestyles I had on there. And, you know, we left it in the car. They took a trip, but they jammed that CD on their trip, man. When they got back, Mike Smiley was adamant about signing me. He didn't let up. He was on some Calipari shit. Like, he was showing up to my mama house, like and he was talking to me, like, from a street standpoint, like, hey, bro.
So at this point, this tape, you made it, like, in the streets, funded it however you could?
It wasn't even a tape. It was just me going to the studio, crashing every beat that I get.
Oh, I got you.
It was just a CD with, you know how you, back then we would go burn the music and we ride to it to see how it sound in the car. You know what I'm saying? And he was on me. He like, I see what you're doing in the street, but if you do this rap shit with us, you can make some real, I remember like it was yesterday, he said you can make some real Johnny. And I'm like, what the fuck is Johnny? He like, Johnny Scratch, some cash, you know what I mean? And I just had never seen it. Like, somebody from Oklahoma signing somebody, it just didn't make sense to me. But, you know, after coming back a few times, talking to me, I started watching him making moves and shit. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. But he told me he believed in me, man. When he said that shit, it wasn't even about the money no more. You know what I'm saying? He's
it was like
believe
somebody willing to put their energy into your vision.
When he said that, I was committed. You know what I mean? I was committed in and I signed in. And I'm like, I don't want to be in a group situation, but I want to fuck with you. And that's how I was able to come into the situation. I was chief hype man for like a year, just going everywhere with him. But that allowed me to build a relationship, see how it worked. I was going to clubs and Chief was rocking out. I was like the hype man homie. I was coming. But I was meeting DJs and just waiting for my shot. And the rest was history.
Yeah.
The rest was history.
So off cameras, we were talking about that there was a certain point that you guys, I think, were about to drop a tape. And then I think it was Homeboy that said, why don't we put this out digital? This going back to the times that we're in today.
Yeah.
So
I remember that transition. And I think
so what was your
too.
Yeah, what was your opinion on that? Because
I thought it was fucking nuts. Just to give you a backstory. This in the beginning when I say like the whole digital shit didn't exist. You couldn't put music on iTunes and none of that. And then as time started to progress, the music business started to change.
Because he came to you and said, "Hey, the music is gonna go here."
Yeah,
and you were like,
"Yeah, it didn't make sense." Ringtones came out first. You know what I mean? I remember
This was
making
before-
a bag off ringtones.
and this was before Lil Wayne's mixtape was about to drop.
This was before the dedication. I remember specifically. And shout out to DB too, DJ DB. They're DJs, so they can kind of see where the business is going to. Now, I'm an artist stuck in my ways, right? Let me tell you about how I used to be, physical distribution, stuff like that. Like, I was surviving and living off that. You know what I mean? We getting anywhere from 10 to 15 for a disc. We shipping 20, 30,000 at a time. Do math. We was like, that's all I did. You feel what I'm saying? And then, like, I had a situation where we were doing mixtapes on our own. We were dropping them in the street, getting them to the distributor, like, on our own. Killing them. You feel what I'm saying? Like, surviving. So coming from that and hearing my DJ tell me, hey, listen,
put this out for free.
Lil Wayne's about to drop this shit called Dedication. And I think it's gonna be free, like a free download.
And this is Grind telling you.
Yeah, it's my DJ Grind Daily, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that don't make no fucking sense. Like, give away, like, well, we just spent studio
All the
time.
hard work
This ain't
and
the
shit.
homie studio. This is
You know,
going in there
lost your
with
fucking mind.
$120 an hour studio time.
Yeah.
This is when we buy beats from $500 to $1,000 a beat. This is no SoundClick shit. This is running it up with independent producers, and this is that. And you want me to give it away? It didn't make sense then. And you know, arguing back and forth, eventually we kind of moved to that, like, all right, let's do one. And then we started seeing the response off of it, like, okay, then.
And this was on YouTube or?
To that. YouTube was kind of breaking its surface then, but this is
MySpace.
I was the first Oklahoma artist on live mixtapes.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Shout out to DB. Go look. Go check the dates. These are facts. Back then, before live, even World Star. We was on World Star numerous times. I never even knew what that was back then. I never paid to be on World Star. Like, they would call us and be like, y'all hot. We gonna post your video. Like, all right. Like, we didn't know shit. Like,
and this
it was just
what
now
year?
breaking.
What year was it?
This was probably 2008. You know what I'm saying?
And this is when the whole what was this? Sap Squad.
Sap Squad. Now, Sap Squad happened just a little bit later.
Okay.
A little bit later, you know what I mean? But this is still when I was the president of the Trap House. Me and Grind were transitioning with the time. You know, we put out Dirt Money 10. That's like our biggest seller to this day.
And YouTube was barely 2 years old because YouTube, I think, came out in 2006.
It was young. Like, we wasn't going to YouTube to get music back then.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think. Then we had our own retail store in Oklahoma City on 23rd Martin Luther King. So a lot of people was pulling up, getting the stuff directly from us independently. You know what I mean? Then we had situations to where
in the mall, you guys had stuff in the mall too, because the Grindaholic.
Everywhere, Experience Music, places like that.
Yeah,
they were buying from us wholesale. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have a lot of middleman situations. We literally survived off music. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hell yeah, we was killing them.
Yeah.
Hand-to-hand contact, we see everybody every day.
We're gonna do 1,000 units a week. Period. Easy back then. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, to do that and then hear him say, let's press this shit up and pass it out for free and let him, you fucking nuts. That's when I first thought, like, that don't make sense. But then as time progressed, paying attention, like, they forced me to, like, change.
It's good. It's good.
We get Grind up there right quick so we can talk about.
That's a good question. Good question.
Yeah, but that's good that you adapt, because a lot of people don't like to adapt, and you take L's when you don't.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. He'd tell you.
Like, if I tell you, like, hey, upgrade your phone, and you're used to the flip phone, you're gonna stay behind.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, that was even with the label, they were saying stuff like, when music goes to phones and stuff like that, we need to be making like songs for that. I'm like, motherfuckers I fuck with don't even got an iPhone. Like, you crazy as fuck. But now look, you know what I'm saying?
Everything right there.
It's all like, they seen it, they foreseen it.
You gotta recognize Chop is, like, when he say he's street, it's not really nothing that you can. He's not sugarcoating it. Like, street is what he is. So hand to hand, dealing with people face to face. He's great, like face to face. But when it came to the internet and things of that nature, like
So you don't text, you don't.
No.
Now
I'm
he
adapting
does.
with the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But ask him how many times he get missed calls. How many missed calls he
all
gets
day
a day.
long. Probably
You
about
know?
70, 80 a day.
Yeah.
Like, I probably got about 200-300 texts in here need to be replied to.
So
I'm
man, I
just-
appreciate you replied to us. So
Yeah,
that's
I'll be
what's
paying
up.
attention. Now, if it's season, I'm gonna be honest. If it's
Because it's the opportunity, a
That's the
win-win for
business.
everybody, you know.
But
Yeah.
personally, man, you better come see me, man.
So what you're saying is he was basically in the street and you're like actually looking at the industry. So you're
was.
like,
Right.
bro, we got
Doing your research and shit. Like,
Yeah, I was up on the times when it came to YouTube, podcasts. Like I knew where we were headed. We were heading for our phones. I knew that
Facts.
this was like in 2008, 2010, between that times. iTunes, I knew it was going that direction.
Yeah.
But you couldn't really tell street guys, hey man, everything getting ready to be on your phone. Like you
I'm
need
looking
to
at it
upload your
like
stuff
the
to
money. I'm
iTunes.
looking at like $100,000 at least a year. Like just give like that don't make sense.
You
Yeah.
couldn't tell these
You didn't
guys,
want to
like,
accept
man,
it. You were like, no.
Fuck no, like I'm gonna keep doing this, and then you gotta change. Then we
Exactly, yeah. That's
Start
what I tell you.
finding ways. Like okay, then I got a ringtone. Then I got a callback tone. I remember Sprint calling us like, hey, you know, okay. Now they're apps. You know what I mean? Back then they wasn't. It was like things that you could buy on your
On the
phone.
web or
You know
like,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Sprint or what do they call it? They had like their own Sprint store on
Yeah,
your
yeah.
phone. But I remember getting a call from them like, okay, we're moving your ringtone. It's a high seller into our database. Meaning like if you go through Sprint store, you can find, and that's worldwide. That's just not just local. That's just not going to the app and finding it. I remember having a call, tone a ringtone, getting them checks like, what the fuck? Then I started like, okay, this is a thing. I started channeling the energy towards that, like more online and forcing myself to figure it out, sitting underneath him and becoming a student again. Like, how does this work?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to talk to everybody on MySpace? Everybody? You know what I mean? I remember him telling me about Twitter, like, hey, Twitter, bro, get on Twitter. Like, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like,
So
just
now
paying attention.
he's going to be the next one that we got to listen to.
Yeah, that's what he was saying too. Yeah,
Now, I
yeah.
keep the young energy around me. They keep me polished. They keep me polished, bro. But
You have to. I think the way technology's going,
Mm-hmm.
like you have to be on top of everything on what the kids are listening to, with the people like us, the older people, and kind of keep that balance because that's how you're gonna stay relevant.
And you,
You know,
like you said, you got to be humble enough to be like, okay,
Yeah,
let
I
me
keep-
change my ways. Because like this is a prime example. I like to cuss a lot. And the
I do
algorithm on YouTube is gonna
Fuck it up.
Mess
Is-
it.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm like,
You just schooled me. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
like if it slips, it's cool. But like
yeah.
we tend to
Sometimes we
say
get
it a
little
lot.
too-
Like
yeah,
so, we're just like.
so we kind of got to watch, and I'm like, man, I don't want to change my ways. I want to keep, but I'm like, it might.
If you want to grow, or
yeah,
if
if he's watching us, I can't be dropping the F-bomb every,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I hope I haven't said it too many times.
Nah, you good. You good.
Because I'm really unfiltered. Like,
Nah,
seriously,
you got to.
you know what I'm saying?
That's one thing we're unfiltered, but it's like both of us. Like sometimes I'm editing that shit. You get what I'm saying? It's whatever, man.
Yeah,
So I'm
man.
editing it. I
Yeah.
remember like our previous podcast. He was like, "How can I adapt to this fucking shit?" I'm like, "Bro," and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta stop." But then I have this fucking meal. I'm like, "Bro." So it's just. I guess it's habit, but yeah. Those are the little things that you just gotta like. All right,
Adapt, basically
adapt
adapting
and
is
change.
a
You know what I'm
big
saying? So especially the
Definitely.
way.
I'm always up for that. I literally had to learn everything, like become a student in everything I've done, from the streets to music to just business in general. Like when I'm really going to something, I'm gonna like soak up all the knowledge before I make that decision. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, man, I can't take no credit for it. I just remember looking at them like, man, you nuts. I remember going to Smiley like, don't listen to them, man. They
Yeah.
trying to make me give my shit away. Like,
Yeah.
And now look, I talk to the young bulls who come in the shop, artists now, and that's all they know. Like, I'm gonna put it up for free. I'm gonna start. I'm like, wow,
Well,
that shit.
going back to like there was a game that's Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
Did it free, gave it to everybody for free, and they made billions.
You know why?
Like billions. They gave it for free.
Free.
Yeah. So I was like, here's this game for free, and then I fell in that trap. I was like, the game is free, so I'm gonna buy these skins. I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna buy this little like nice gun. You know what I'm saying? So it was a
Gotcha.
strategy, and I think that's what like Lil Wayne, when he dropped that mixtape, that was a genius move. You know what I'm saying?
So Lil Wayne was the first one to drop.
I'm not saying he was the
he
first one,
wasn't-
but
he wasn't
at the
the
time, he was like one of the biggest.
He was the biggest to do it, but
Yeah.
he wasn't the first. I can't even tell you
Yeah.
who the first was. It was plenty of artists that did.
Yeah,
it.
I'm pretty
Lil
sure,
Wayne.
yeah.
I remember 50 Cent is the future. Like I remember, like that was more physical though.
Yeah, that was
you know what I mean. But he was the first one that I know we had a conversation.
And
about.
that was on like the like live mixtape app.
It was
or
on
what?
that Piff Live. It was on everything.
I got
Live
you.
mixtapes back then. It was what was it? What was the one that I was sitting there putting on the dirt? It was like Crack Spot mixtapes. It was
was a
like
bunch
it
of
was a lot of
platforms popping
different
up.
mixtape platforms back in the day. Like it was a lot of them, a lot of distributors back then online.
Man, that's the shift is crazy because
The
I remember
shift is
At
this,
least
crazy.
we got iTunes now because they getting streams and shit now. You know, back then you wouldn't even get streams. It was just
Well,
like,
it's crazy.
Download and it's free.
Yeah.
like the DVD era was crazy too, right?
Oh,
when
yeah.
there was
Oh,
like
yeah.
who
Oh,
was
yeah.
it? French Montana came up on that. Like
Yeah, that was the cocaine.
Cocaine City.
Yeah, Cocaine City. I remember
City,
that. I remember that. In fact, we had a couple of them. I used to be on all them DVDs. You know what I mean? From rapping and just talking about lifestyle and everything. So
It's changed, man. Now it's all like, you know, I pay Apple Music is like $10 a month, and I get all the any song. And now it's cool because when Apple Music came out, you like local artists can upload their shit there. So now they're making it where everybody.
I remember I had to sign a distribution deal to get on those platforms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I remember that. I remember.
So what does
like,
a distribution deal mean?
long story short, my situation, back then when it kind of first came, I had to go through like almost a third party company, and I gave up a residual just to get on iTunes. Now you can just go like, what's the kid? Just go
Distro Kid or some shit. Yeah,
and just like give them a little percentage off each one. And it's good. Back then, I signed a situation, and they put it up on the platforms for me. And long story short, like funny thing is, all those years, all the digital stuff was going on, I never received a check up until probably like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
All the streams, everything.
Yeah.
I just never really looked for it. But it was just like I was in a label situation. I'm
Yeah.
like, I had to come. And it was lucrative. It was,
Yeah,
you got to
nice.
think all them years.
Yeah, I just
It was
collect
like
up.
savings basically.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, I had to fight for a little bit of it to make it was right,
Yeah.
but it was, it came through right.
Crazy how much people eat off of like one song, one album, like the whole team, producers, and
I'm spoiled, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't like to say this to kind of like sour like the new way of doing it, but I'm spoiled on how it used to be. I'm still like, and I got 2 albums, like 10 mixtapes, and like we literally just pulled them down off the platforms not too long ago. They gonna go back up.
You said 10 mixtapes?
Yeah, 10, and it's like
Really more than that.
I didn't even. I'm
More than
spoiled on
10
how it used to be.
mixtapes,
So when I look at the stream checks, like I got some partners that got 1 million streams, and I've seen they checks and shit.
So what you're saying
And
is
I'll
that
be like, man,
back then
that's-
you guys were getting a bigger chunk? Is that
Yeah, I was getting some real money off rap.
So I'm gonna
We're
ask
gonna be
you.
booked 2-3 times a week. We're gonna get now. That's how season came apart because I had the merch and shit back then. You feel what I'm saying? Killing them at the events, and then we getting the show back, and then we getting the physical distribution shit. So for us in our situation, I can't speak for everybody else. It worked.
Yeah.
It was lucrative back in the day. Like you got to understand, right now it's not as people aren't getting a lot of money when it comes to music. But back then, when it was hand-to-hand contact and you had to actually touch your customer, you were getting a lot of money.
Well,
That's why-
I'm going to ask you this question here real quick. Now we're in the music. Do you think 10, 15 years from now, labels are still going to be a thing?
No, you don't even need them now.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna
why I was
be totally
going
honest.
to.
You know, and I'm be honest, I didn't need them then. It was like a preference, you know what I mean? But you
And they
really
have
don't.
they're building a bad
Really
rep
don't.
for like artists have been
Different
taking their mask off, and it's obviously different situations, but there's been a lot like Megan Thee Stallion.
To me, it's like a preference thing. You know what I mean? Like some people don't want the leg work of having to do everything. Some people are like, you know what? You do all the work, give me some money, and I'll just do this. I'll be fine. Some people are fine with that. Some people don't want to go out and start a business. They rather just go to work and come home. That's no problem.
Yeah,
But then some people are like, nah, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll do the heavy lifting because I want all the money. That's me.
see,
Yeah,
I was watching a live, and then like Russ. He was talking about the music industry and the label. He was pretty much being blunt about his situation. He's like, the reason why I learned to make beats, produce all my stuff, because I own all of it, right? Smart. So a lot of people think that touring is a good way to make money, but
it's the best way now.
Well, no.
Now since COVID, it's like.
Well, he said this. He said, touring, you make money, but you got to also keep in mind your expenses. He was spending with his crew, whole team. He was spending a lot of money.
Did we do that?
So
smoking some exotic.
So he said where he makes his money is off of the streams, off of owning all of the stuff like the masters, the beats,
and see
all
the
that.
thing with Russ, I listened to his audiobook and he studied like Birdman, and he was like, me and my homie basically bought books of these people and just. So basically, they got to see the mistakes that other people made.
So like, it's very important as an upcoming artist to study the game.
Do your research.
Study the game.
Question: how many Russes y'all know?
Not
like period. Not like personally.
What do you say? Like
in the
an artist
that does everything like that.
Yeah. How many?
I mean,
Russes
probably J. Cole would be the
J.
closest.
Cole is one
right?
that I guess he produces his shit. I heard Travis Scott does like.
Kanye? Would you say Kanye?
Kanye, I think too.
Kanye.
Very few. You know.
Right. But Russ was an independent artist that was doing all.
But
this.
he did, yeah, he
no,
did.
but Kanye
He's one of a
signed
kind.
and shit. So
Yeah.
Russ is one of a kind because he has a shit ton of songs way before
he got a deal.
Yeah, he had like.
There's not too many Russes out there.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
you can't sit there and say, like me personally, I don't feel like record labels are going anywhere. We've been saying for the last 10 years that the radio was dead. You know? We've been saying,
I didn't say they going nowhere. They gonna be here, but are they gonna be?
I mean, they're gonna be exactly what they are now.
Yeah,
they're a bank.
A bank.
You know what I mean?
A bank. You know what I mean?
Because it's always just not
somebody gonna always.
So what you're saying is that nobody's money is really that long to be able to say like a label's can't do nothing for me.
Well,
like
I mean,
you have the internet, bro.
It's a preference, bro. It's
based off of streams.
How hard do you want to work?
Like if touring goes away, artists are still gonna make money by streams. Like Russ said, he made off of, I don't remember what songs, off of those 2 songs he made about $5 million off of those 2 songs.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, he made $5 million, right? And probably the slow way, right? So I'm the label. Let's say I want to give you $30 million right now to leverage some of your publishing. What do you do?
30 million?
You see how you
no, but
I'm the label, right? I know you're gonna do that, right?
Right.
Let me give you 30 and let me leverage some of that.
How long is the contract?
I'm just saying, but
we gotta talk like.
But you see, the label still exists now. The fact that you want to talk about it, let me know that the label still may have a place.
Yeah, Grant Cardone says no interest is a level of interest.
So it's like I gotta see like.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the label still exists there.
Yeah. Right.
If
for now,
we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
It's now. Like it's just a bank. It's just high interest loan. I mean, so now, from me, that's what I think. You know what I mean?
We're talking labels and stuff. Dame Dash, I know you.
Huge fan of Dame. I'm a huge fan of Dame.
So the Culture Vultures book, that's basically what it talks about, like ownership and all that. Talk about that, man, and just how you feel, like what route you took and why.
Me fan, I always been a fan of like having ownership. You know what I'm saying? And my situation with Mike Smiley was hella dope because yes, I was signed to Presidential Trap House, but he always gave me leverage and he let me become a boss on his watch. You know what I mean? He let me make my own decisions. He didn't hover over me. You know, he didn't Suge Knight me, none of that shit. He literally let me.
It was a partnership.
Yeah, it felt like that. It literally felt like that. And even when, I felt like in my eyes, I outgrew the situation and I wanted to do my own thing, I had his blessing. And he supported that. You feel what I'm saying? And it was hella dope. Like, me personally, Dame, he was ganged up. It's just some people aren't on that. Some people don't push independent. It's no problem to me. It's a preference.
Right.
But me, I want the pie. I want to bust the pie down with my people. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to work for anybody. That's just me and my preference. You know what I'm saying? And I teach that to my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I instill that in him now. Like, you don't have to ever go to work for anybody. See, I didn't have that. We didn't have that energy. I didn't know any successful black business owners when I was growing up. I knew the dope boy, and that's what I wanted to be. You feel what I'm saying? But we shifting that narrative now. Like, he see me now. Like, I don't gotta be in the street. I don't gotta do none of that shit. Some days I ain't even gotta take my fat ass to work. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want him to have that convenience, but I've put in the work to where I can say that. and I'm independent. You feel what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with it.
So
It feels a little better to know that you.
It feels a lot better.
So-
I'm not like I've had to go to work. In fact, like let's be honest, let's keep it real. After rap, I had to transition and literally go back to where I was working for somebody for me to realize, like, you know what? Nah, this ain't it.
right, and
This
I feel like
ain't
we
it.
have to go through that. We
This ain't
have
it.
to.
But I learned so much. Like, I learned how to be a boss again because I knew, okay, when I get in my next situation, I won't treat my people like this. I won't do this. In fact, I'm gonna learn from y'all, and then I'm gonna apply it to what I was doing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I was out of there. You know what I mean?
Like when I have a kid, and let's say I'm you know, I got the bread to support and stuff, I still would want him to have a job just because like it'll teach him like the struggle, like that you got to work to get your shit.
Yeah.
Like regardless if he wants to do it for 6 months, a year, whatever. But like thanks to like me having like my first job was a fast food.
Mine too.
Church's Chicken,
Which
man.
one was it? Church's?
Yeah.
See, I was at Sonic, man.
Yeah,
I
so
was
like
at Sonic,
man, it got to
I was Brahms, man. I was
You
square
said Brahms?
dipping. Yeah, man.
dipping the burgers.
Hey, was you dipping in the ice cream? or
Everything.
not?
I was running the register. Everything.
Yeah.
So that really taught me to like be a hustler. Like, damn,
Right.
if I don't snap out of this shit, I'm gonna be working here for the rest of my life, and I don't want
Facts.
to do that because
And
I
you
see
see
people
the
around
you
me.
see the older ladies that at least at Brahms
Yeah.
that like you've
They're
been
for
here
years.
for fucking 15
Yeah.
years.
yeah. So like,
Jesus.
in a
And
way,
I agree
Right,
with you.
but you gotta
I agree
understand-
with you, but at the
people
same
don't-
time, I let him work for me. You know what I mean? That way, I can give him the game and knowledge
Right,
that he
right.
gonna need to be a boss
Right.
one day. Because you know they,
But it's
at
different.
Sonic, they not
That's
preparing
different.
you to be an owner. They
right?
not.
But it's different.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's more of the experience. Like
Right,
I went
right.
through this job that was like at least I was there for 3 years. The first year was cool because I was like, damn, I got a
Man,
job.
I could've
It
stayed
it
for
builds
3 years, man. I was
character.
out of
Well,
there.
It builds character.
Well,
How
I
old
think
were you? How old were you?
17.
17?
16. I got the job when I was 16. So my thing is, I think the reason why I stood there was because I built a relationship with the coworkers that we were going out. And I was young, so I was going out, getting fucked up at the age of 17, 16, you know what I'm saying? So then as I'm growing up, you know, it's like my second year, third year, I'm like, damn, I got to get out of here. Like, it's time for me to snap. Like, I already had my run here.
You got lost in the sauce.
Yeah, so I was like, I gotta get out of here. But I learned a lot
I
as
did
far
too.
as like mentality, being
Yeah.
tough. I gotta boss up. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like if your kid,
At what point did you know it's time to go?
well, it was like my second year. You know, it was my second year, and I was
Was it something? Was it something that happened?
well. I fractured my hand playing basketball, so I was out for like 6 months. So like in that time, I was like, all right. As soon as I fractured my hand, I'm like, that's it. I'm done. So I went and put my 2 weeks in, and that was it. You know, that was it. That was the final.
I don't even think I did that, man. Like for one, my sister, man, she lied on my application and got me the job when I was 15. Of course, to get me in there. Of course, you got me 16 in Oklahoma to get me
Yeah.
the job. And my sister's like, she like my OG. You know what I mean? She really did that to try to pull me out the street. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But that was really worse because.
And how long you were there?
You were like this 7.
I was killing them at Sonic. Like I was like.
And how long were you there?
I was there for about a year.
Yeah.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
see,
But I
shit.
was catching plays at Sonic, man. I was on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Man. Like on payday, I would get like my check and my boss check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was like I was on some bullshit. I
Yeah.
did not need to be
Hey,
there.
but it's crazy. Fast food places, it's like the people that work there, they're just gonna have drugs.
I know, man. You know what? It was
That's how I started smoking. Like,
That's the thing. He's not lying. He's
No,
not
you're
lying.
not. You're not
No.
lying.
Let's keep it real.
I remember,
He's not
but-
lying. And then
like,
like
behind
behind
the-
it was not
behind the trash
best.
can, this older lady would be back there. She'd be like, "Come on, Aaron." I was like,
Bro, my manager
That's
used to
why
be
them
like,
older ladies work there because they know it's not that they're not gonna piss test me. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smoke my weed. I'm gonna have a good time. So yeah,
my manager,
I
like,
get it.
we were so cool that my manager would be like, y'all feel like drinking? Like, we used to close.
Damn,
and
you
he
ain't
was
even
like,
old enough to drink in that neither.
He would give me hey, go get some beer. And we would be in the back sipping, bro, sipping.
Man.
Oh, there's a customer.
that's what's
Had a-
wild about fast food,
Yeah,
man. We're
it
trusting
was-
people with our
man.
food. That
I knew it was over when I had more money than like the
Yeah.
supervisor. And I was like, he was trying to borrow money from me and shit. I'm 15 at the time. I got more money than everybody in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, this is not for me. I've
This ain't
outgrew
it.
this
Yeah.
situation.
You
know
felt
what I'm
goofy
saying?
in there.
But did you
like,
learn
what?
something from that experience?
I learned a lot. You know what I mean? I learned I didn't want to do that ever again. You know what I'm
for
saying?
real.
Ever again.
For
You know
real.
what I'm saying? Immediately. But it did teach me some responsibility to an extent.
Yeah.
Like holding myself accountable, you know what I mean? Shit like that. But I was out of there in like a year. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
back to the street.
Yeah.
Have you always been the type that's just like on your own rules type of thing, independent, just...
Definitely. Now I get that from my mom. I always been. He'll tell you.
What's the pros and cons to that?
Don't ask me that because I'm saying ain't no cons. You know what I'm saying? Of course, when you stand on, you gotta stand on. You gotta accept the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm willing to do that. I'm built for that. You know what I mean? So when I make a decision, of course, it's gonna be for the benefit of myself first. I'm self first, not selfish. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm willing to stand on my mistakes too. Though. I'm willing to be accountable for both the good and the bad. Because I done made some bad decisions. I make them live around my young bulls, and then I show them I'm accountable for them too.
Like I
At the
fucked
same
up.
time,
I'm owning up.
I fucked up live too. So don't make the same mistake I did.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Can you break that down to self?
Self first, not self. It's to me it's a difference. You know what I mean? If I'm making decisions and I'm moving for myself and my family well being, that's self first. Selfish is like me not even considering or not even giving a fuck about what happens after me. I care about what happens after me, but at the same time, I'm a step of me and mine first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, so let's go into this transition of like, you said the music kind of helped you build up season. So take us from there.
Wait, hold up. Since it was presidential trap house, then break down the whole
Sap Squad. See,
Status already verified.
yeah. You want to touch on
Savage,
that? You
man.
want to touch on that? The transition.
The transition from President to Trap House to Sap Squad, basically, we saw the writing on the wall, and me and him had a conversation to where it was like, yo, we got to kind of separate ourselves from what's getting ready to happen. And we did it probably about a good year and a half before things popped off as far as Presidential Trap House is concerned. But we just wanted to have our own brand, our own name, for something that was for us, but also that was in tribute to somebody that we respected and loved at the same time. So Sap Squad status already. His name was Young Savage. Mm-hmm. And
Long live Young Sam.
yeah, he was Mike Smiley's nephew. And shouts to Joycey as well, man. Joycey, that's his mother. And he was a good kid, man. He probably, what was he, 18 years old when he got out of jail?
Yeah.
He got out of jail.
He was the one.
He was in jail probably about a good 8 years before that.
I ain't gonna say 8. He did a little stint. He probably went 8, though.
Probably about 5.
You know what I mean? He did a little stint, though.
He did a good 5
He was
years.
the one, though, man. He was
had,
the one.
He had skills. He was nice, but when he came out of jail, he was like our number one fan. And he knew our names before we even knew who he was. He knew our names, the lyrics to the songs, and everything else. Yeah. And he just wanted to, be
a part of
the wave.
He hit the ground running. I remember when we first came home, he was on ankle monitor, so we couldn't take him on the road with us. But what's dope is it forced him to like live in the studio. Mm-hmm. He be in the studio every single day. It's time to go home. He had a curfew and everything, but he was the one. He was the one. If it's anybody I've ever seen immediately have it, he was the one. You feel what I'm saying? He was young. He had the look, and he would just light up a room. If he walked in this room, you'd be like, "Who is this guy?" Yeah. He just had that star power about him.
Yeah. And how old was he when he passed?
I want to say
21, 22.
Shit. Yeah, young guy.
He was young, maybe younger than that.
I think he was 19. I want to say 19.
He was 19, 20 probably when he passed away. But he was tragically taken by just another hater. Saw who he was, knew who he was affiliated with, and took him away. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was tragic, man. It was very, very sad, man. But at the same time, we didn't want it to down what his energy. Yeah. His energy was all about go, keep going. Like, so we just took the name Savage, shortened it up, Sap Squad, made it meant something. Our status, because he was already verified when he first came home. You know what I mean? From his streets to our streets. And we just took that and ran with it. Sap Squad, man. And we put a crew together. Got a lot of dope people. I think
Dope people.
First member was Dirty.
Yeah, Young Dirty. He been in the saddle with me since So Throw Click. You know what I mean? And I mentioned he went to Texas when it all kind of split. So when I got my situation, I went and pulled my guy back into the situation. Like, hey, I'm up. You know what I mean? I can do this shit now. So we pulled Dirty in. Young Jones was an artist.
Young Jones.
Of course, DJ Grind Daily, DJ DB. We brought in J Poe. You know what I'm saying?
Quick question. Now that we're talking about like these, the situation, why do you think artists like street artists, like let's say you're King Von and like Pop Smoke that been, killed, like why do you think it's so hard for them once they make it as an artist to get out of the streets?
Man, I can't speak for them. You know what I mean? I can speak for me.
Because it's like, if I make it if I have to hustle in the streets and be in the streets while I make it, once I make it, doesn't it make sense to just...
It makes a lot of sense, but one thing I can say about these streets, man, like, it's a lifestyle, it's an addiction. Sometimes I think it's like a mental illness to an extent, but I can speak on me. That's all I knew. I come up in the street, and I didn't look at it like I made it. I looked at it like, well, shit, I just got a little money now. I can take care of it. Now
it's more of like a popular thing. Like, if you're going to be a rapper, you have to be, even if you're faking it, like, you have to be like from the streets.
I don't understand that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like...
I literally don't understand, like, making it and then wanting to be.
Yeah.
If you come up in the street, that's just who you are as a person. It's wise, of course, to transition out. That's the goal, because if not, they'll bump your ass off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's be real about it. But at the end of the day, I can speak for me. Like, I literally had 2 feet in the street, and I got somewhat of a clout, and I was just wise enough to have people around me to be like, okay, now it's time. Me being a sponge, I did that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have those people around them. A lot of people don't have a big homie. They don't have somebody like, hey, bro, sit your ass down somewhere.
Yeah, chill out.
You bigger than the situation now. They don't have that. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. If the oldest cat in your clique is 19, 20, and you in this, you going to make 19, 20-year-old decisions. I know what I was doing at 20.
Do you always put yourself around older people?
I've always been like that, but... naturally, it's kind of crazy because I'm like one of the oldest ones now. You know what I'm saying? And I've always kind of stood firm on being around people who've been there before. You got to think like, I graduated and my mother literally left the next day. I've been outside. She prepared me to be outside. You know what I'm saying? I have older siblings. There's a 6-year gap between me and my siblings. So I was raised in the house watching teenagers move. I've always been more mature. I've always been, you know what I mean? So as far as being gamed up, I've always been that way. I didn't watch the cartoons like, typical little kids. My brother was a teenager in my room, so he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always been kind of ahead of the people generally my age. I graduated high school when I was 16, you know what I'm saying? So imagine a 16-year-old now. It's not the same. I was conditioned to be outside, so I've always been more mature.
Yeah. Damn. That makes a lot of sense.
Hell yeah.
So, did we finish what we were talking about?
After Sap Squad, you guys hit the... man, it sounded hard. It sounded like some DJ drama. Like, it was like, that era.
Man.
J. Poe's going
really
crazy on there.
The surface of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It really gave me the playing field to show people, like, not only am I an artist, like, I can do this shit too. I'm a boss. You feel what I'm saying? Like, from tearing down the road, we took the same blueprint and we just applied it to the new situation. And then that'll allow other artists to arrive. Like, I'm going to tell you, like, it's artists around the city that y'all know. I'm involved in all their situations, whether...
in one way or the other.
Or not. And they know it. You know what I mean? Now, do I put it out there? No. But I can tell you probably...
What is it? What's understood doesn't have to be explained.
Yeah.
And I ain't do that for the cloud or to say I did that. I did that because...
That's why I love it, man. Now that, like, on the door it says, we are the culture, like that. Just walking in there is like, damn, it brought flashbacks of, like, Grindaholic Media. And,
yeah, that's the OG.
Is that you in the beginning of one of the videos? It's like an orange car. And I think...
The Red Dirt video.
No, orange car. That's...
Oh, just got big. Just got big.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay,
that's him. Just got big. Yeah.
Yeah, so like all that stuff.
That was his song, matter of fact.
when I was like, what, 16, 15, that was what I was watching. Like, I was like, how can I, you know?
That was towards the end of it, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was towards the end of it. But
So would you guys say you guys were one of the pioneers, like that started like a movement as far as like the music shit?
we are pioneers, but of course, out of respect, there were people before us.
Yeah.
There was definitely people.
There was people before us, like definitely doing that thing. SB is one of them OGs. Nitro, one of them OGs.
Bucket, what is it?
Bucket Low, yeah. All them people were before us.
Bucket Low,
you know what I mean?
Polo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys, Kurt Dog.
Oh, Polo. Yeah, I worked with Polo.
Yeah.
Now I can
Damn,
say
that's
this,
crazy.
and I can stand on this, and they'll tell you.
I've worked with Nitro too. Nitro's something else.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah.
I was one of the influential pieces in putting together the 405 and the 918. They tell you, like, when I first got to the city, that shit wasn't happening. It was only a couple few that were
allowed to go to Tulsa.
Yeah, like, I ain't gonna say allowed. I ain't gonna step on them like that. But SB was one of the people that was going back and forth, getting love in Tulsa. But it wasn't a lot. Like, that was, and they got some history. I ain't gonna really dig up the history because, for one, I don't really get involved with the street politics like that. I'm from a 580, you know what I mean? But I was influential in that. I remember going to Tulsa, you know, as an artist based out of OKC, and no other OKC artist would go with me. I remember that. I remember being at shows in Tulsa, like feeling the tension. I remember that.
Yeah.
But then again, I also remember meeting the Factors in Tulsa.
Yeah.
You know, YH, my dog CO2. Like, I remember meeting them and them embracing me and bringing me in and doing the same thing, like bringing them to the city. I remember bringing Poe to Tulsa. I remember bringing Star to Tulsa. Like, hey, it's cool. I remember that. You know what I mean? Like, and I took a lot of arrows. A lot of people don't know that because you gotta think, like, when I get to Tulsa, in the beginning, I'm the city, you know what I mean? And when I get back, it's like, oh, you fuck with them, but you gotta forget I ain't from neither. So imagine how they feel when I get home.
Yeah.
Like, we don't fuck with none of them. I took a lot of them. I laid a lot of that foundation. This is before social media, when you had to be outside. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Places where they probably wouldn't even think about going. And I still like that.
Did you care about being judged?
I ain't give a fuck about nothing. I still don't. You know what I mean?
That's why you win.
I still don't. And I still got a relationship with all those people and where they'll pull up and tell you, like, nah, Child was one of the first, like, down here, like fucking with us. And he was bringing us to the city, connecting them dots. I sit back on social media and I seeing them, like, working connect. I'll be like, that's beautiful. Because I remember being at radio station events and they bring the city artists to the Tulsa event.
Yeah.
And they're like, you the only one.
So
I'm serious.
In those times, basically, you just gotta pull. You just had to pull up, basically. Like,
Shit, you had to. You had to be outside.
You had to
That
be
right
out.
there eliminated a lot of the fuck shit because you can't hide behind that keyboard. Nah. You outside.
Yeah.
If you know anything about Tulsa, man, they with that shit. They with that shit. You come down there playing, boy, they with that shit.
what is they call it?
Dogtown.
Yeah, they with that
Yeah,
shit.
they got that heat. They got that heat.
Shout out. Hey, listen, Tulsa got some of the dopest artists in the dopest scene.
Yeah.
You gotta think, like, when I started doing music, I broke in Tulsa first. I just lived in the city. Go look at the history. All my records broke in Tulsa first. And then the city caught on later. And I'm like, I live here.
Yeah.
So, if you had to say which scene is more popping, like as far as hip
We
hop
talking
goes?
about hip hop Tulsa, hands down.
Also
Yeah.
easy, yeah.
Hands down. That ain't even a
It's not even a
What?
question.
Huh. So
hands
they've
down.
been ahead.
Hands down.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and that's what I love about Facebook memories too. Because when it roll around, I share it again. Like, I told y'all this in 2008. I told y'all. I told you.
Yeah.
What y'all talking about now, I said that then.
Yeah, you're the Dame Dash.
Shit.
I'm just saying, like, these are facts. These are facts, and they'll tell you, like, yeah, it wasn't a lot of that. Now it is. It's hella dope. But fuck no, man. I was like, CO2 will tell you. Shout out to the YH, man. He'll tell you.
There's talent now. Like, I mean, there's talent. Like,
Hell
it's out there, man. It's crazy. Like,
Hell
just
yeah.
to be able to witness the whole scene. You know, Tulsa got their artists. We
Hell
got
yeah.
our artists
and
out
they
here.
working together, too.
Yeah, as it should be. You know.
So, would
together.
you say there's less tension now, or
Yeah, hell yeah.
Definitely, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
man, it's
man.
cool.
It's
Yeah,
all
I've
love,
seen
all love
yeah.
now.
That's
Hell
what
yeah.
yeah.
As it should be.
As it should be, because it's
right.
at the end of the day, it's Oklahoma. So why not get together to create something bigger?
And then I feel like I don't know if how gangs like I feel like gangs have like watered down now. It's not like so much about gang banging and stuff like years back.
They doing it. They just doing it on the internet now.
Yeah.
It's just on the internet now.
It's not.
They ain't outside gang banging like that.
Because even like the South Side, I remember for a while it was like the South Side Centrals. It was war zone over there. Like
crazy. You know what? I always
city,
respected the city. You know what I mean? But I never got involved with like the gang culture. Like like who I'm gonna commit to. None of that. Because I'm a hustler. I'm gonna fuck with everybody. You know what I mean? You gotta think. My CEO was a blood. You know what I mean? But Chief, who brought me in, he's blue rag. You know what I mean? So
you never got you never said like I have love for this set or that.
I got love for everybody. If you're a hustler, I got love for the hustler. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna like commit to just I only fuck with it. Nah, man, fuck that.
So that's probably why you were able to maneuver because you didn't.
I never got involved with like politics and if it ain't I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So now going into like your brand, you transition from the music to season. Like, how are you like? How the hell do I take this brand and scale it to a level where the city knows?
Well, a lot of people don't know I had a brand before season.
Which was
you
what?
Know what I mean? Sav Life.
Sav Life.
Okay. It was some merch that we did, of course, that was attached to Sap Squad. You know what I mean? And we had all types of merch. In fact, when the CDs and shit started declining, the merch is what kept us afloat. Like, I still see Sav Life shirts in the city. Like, damn, it's crazy back then. But that allowed me to learn, like, how to find the vendors, what screen print is, how much it costs, how to put it together. Like, that was the early stages of it. But I made a huge mistake in attaching. Well, first, I didn't understand the difference between having merch and having a apparel brand. What I had was merch. You know what I mean?
So what's the difference?
Merch to me is attached to a brand. You feel what I'm saying? Like, okay, I was an artist, and I have merch. So therefore, when I stopped doing music, it's out of there. Like I didn't let the brand stand alone. That was just merchandise attached.
Because if they would ask you like, what's that about? I was like, oh, back in the day when I used to do music.
Yeah,
so
the narrative is different.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But having merch allowed me to learn the process, and then I was able to build that into a brand. You know what I mean? Like, once I got out of music, I went to Texas for like 4 years. You know what I mean? I didn't do shit. Like, I literally went back to work. This is like no cap. A lot of people don't know this shit. When I stopped doing music and the folks came and tore apart that situation I was in, I was broke when I moved to Texas. I didn't have shit. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't have nothing. I went from, the year before, walking around the city, $80,000 in jewelry on my neck to nothing. Trying to survive. You feel what I'm saying? Because when they came and tore apart the situation, that affected me too, whether I was in it or not.
And you got to be a strong-minded, like
you got to because I'm booked 2-3 times a week at the time. Now it's like that phone ain't ringing.
So how were you able to deal with that? Like your ego and shit.
It was I never really had an ego. You know what I mean? But it was a humbling experience because I had to literally go back to work. I had to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like I had my son. I just had a daughter. So I got to think early then. I didn't have kids. Yeah. Now I got 2 kids. The situation happened and I left, and now I'm forced to figure it out. I went to Texas, and shout out to my dog Rick, shout out to my dogs Ray Pat, Mike Menace. Like, these are like my family outside of what I do, and they embraced me and literally looked out for me until I got up and on my feet. You know what I mean? And they wanted to see me win. You know what I mean? And once I figured it out, of course I hated the city. I didn't want to come back to the city at all when I left. Because I feel like when the situation happened with the label and everybody was indicted, everybody turned their back on me in the city. That's how I felt. It was like, damn, I was just the city's favorite. I'm booked up, I'm going everywhere, and then this happened. It's like nobody even wants to stand close to me. Nobody. And I probably never said this on no platform. Like,
I think the crazy thing with that is people just get scared to be associated with their
exactly.
Man.
Exactly. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Ain't no promoter want to book me. Ain't nobody want no verse. So I literally had to figure it out. You know what I mean? Go back to what made me like, okay, let me.
And that's the crazy thing about rap, that somebody can go from like to just like the young guy with the Corvette song.
Yeah.
Like,
Man.
I ain't got no jacket on me like him, though.
no. But that it's just
I
wild.
don't fit that jacket.
Like, it's wild that from one day to the next, it's like.
Well, mine, it was more of, it wasn't like shit stopped because, you know, shit still sold, but it was more on the personal level. Like, damn, I didn't want to do music no more.
Everybody's.
It was just like, damn, the people that I know and love and do this shit with, it's like, fuck.
So as you coming back to the city, like, you're like, fuck.
I didn't come back with the energy. I stayed gone until, I sent for my family. First I went by myself, you know what I mean? And then I sent for my family a couple years later. And, Texas is cool, but it's not my home. It's not my home. And plus my girl hated it, you know what I mean? She hated it. And I came back home for one Thanksgiving and it snowed bad. And I was forced to stay here for a couple more days. And I just rode around the city and I started watching it change. I started watching this shit come together like, damn. Like, what they putting up a scissor tail? Like, what the fuck? It started to change. I started to see the north side come together and it was like, and I'm watching the music scene, like I'm watching the artists starting to work, all the shit that I feel like, damn, I wish I'd have had. Because I remember being in Dade County in the Carroll City Market, screaming OKC on the stage. And they like, what the fuck is that? We ain't never heard of that. And then the Thunder arrived and all that. And now I remember, this is before then. And then I'm seeing it come together. Like those days I was here at Snowden, and I'm like, man, I laid a lot of foundation in this shit. I damn sure don't want it to come on without me.
And
like,
you're still at
this is what we were working for.
You're still at a perfect time, more wise than ever, seasoned up.
What? So of course we made a decision to come back. Now I wasn't even outside when I came back. You know, it's daily. I was still just flying below the radar. You know, I got a house in Edmond, and we just was watching a scene. You know, season still hadn't become a thing, but I kind of wanted to get back in. I didn't want to do music, but I wanted to kind of like associate myself back with the culture on some dope shit. You know what I mean? And that's how I decided to start an apparel brand. At that point, it was like, okay, I'm going to do some apparel. I've always had to do it, you know what I mean? As far as put it together, be creative. Because when I was getting my rap budget back then, I couldn't go in a Louis store because I was a fat boy. You know what I mean? I always had to create my own fresh. You know what I mean? So I just kind of started playing with it, started putting together designs, watching streetwear brands, doing my homework for a year. I watched cookies grow into cookies. I met Nikki Diamonds 10 years ago, Diamond Supply. Like, I knew all these people. I just didn't, I've been a huge fan of Carl Canal. I can tell you his story backwards. I seen the FUBU story back. This is stuff I've always knew. I just never really thought about doing it.
You were focused on being a rapper.
That's it. When all the time my gift was, you feel what I'm saying? And then I started inching my way in, and the rest was kind of,
Yeah, it was different. Definitely when I went to the store Saturday, it's like, it was just nothing but vibes.
Think? Tell the people, like, honestly, what was you thinking of your energy coming in?
It was vibes, man. Like like the whole, just seeing the store, seeing the different types of like shirts, like hoodies and stuff, like, and then talking to you guys, seeing the people coming in, like that. That was a unique experience. It's like, shit, y'all want to go to a store? Saturday is the move, man. That's where it's at.
Let me let my nephew speak on that.
Yeah. Tell him what's going on, man.
See, he don't speak too much. I'm gonna make him speak today, though.
Yeah, he has to. He's a big part of the brand.
He's gonna tell you the process, like.
So what does it look like, man?
He's on the forefront of it. You know what I mean? Let's talk about Season Saturday, man. First off, let's talk about how we got to do Season Saturday. You know what I mean? Because you remember when we were in the garage or the dining room first.
The dining room. We was in there.
Y'all was just mapping it out in the garage?
Shoot. Really, it was in the house at first.
Yeah.
Then we moved to the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was a long journey.
Yeah.
A long journey.
What was the process like back then? Like, what were you actually doing? Like,
What I was doing, I started
like
off
Photoshop or what?
No, I started off folding shirts. Folding
shirts.
bagging shirts. That's what
You was like, all right, Uncle, I believe in your vision. Let's
Yeah.
you know
He
what
was
I'm
in
saying?
high school at the time.
I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah, you were what, juniors? What you?
It was like the end of my sophomore year.
So folding shirts, and then from folding shirts, what was?
I went to.
He used to take the shirts to school too.
Yeah, he used to send me the trap bags.
Yeah.
Send him the trap bag, like, hey, go see what your boys
See,
say
that's
about
dope,
this.
man. That to have your circle that you know you can trust to start something. That's key, and that's amazing, bro. Not everybody that wants to start a business has that. So it's like that's a blessing right there, man.
Yeah, it's been around me the whole time, man. He used to take the trap back to school and get his hustle.
So
on
is he the one you were talking about that goes to the barbershops,
yeah,
hustling?
That's where he was.
Okay.
He came in the shop.
Okay, that's what it was, huh? So
He was
talk
doing
to
the
us about that,
groundwork.
man. Like what? So that's in you to just go and you like have a pitch that you pitch to the people, like, hey, I got this merch. I got
Tell
this
us your
apparel
duties.
band.
What do you do? Like actually,
Tell him
What I do. So I run the store when he's not there, you know. So I run the floor. I do the inventory. I run basically everything in the shop.
Yeah.
I open it up, close it, everything. Then what he say is outside.
Heavily invested.
Yes. So I'm starting to get everybody to know who I am and what we are as a brand.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting everybody know.
Because you say he doesn't talk too much. You don't talk too much. So are you now developing that, like, I got to be a people's person? I got to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I forced him. I put him in that box.
Yeah. Okay.
so did he have the initiative just all on his own, or is there days where you have to be like, hey, come on, man?
No. I don't have to push him to work. And I can say this, man. I'm not saying this because he's sitting here. He's never called in. He don't be late. He's there. I ain't talking about we open at 11. He get there at 11. What time do you get there, Jay?
Shoot, 10.
You feel what I'm saying? I don't have to force him to be there. He leaves when the job is done, not when we close.
Do you feel like it's a job?
People like that.
Do you feel like it's a job?
No, it don't even feel like a job.
That's why
That's dope.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
dope.
That's
That's
like
dope.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's 19, and he probably don't even understand and realize what he's capable of doing. You got to think that's just one portion of it. We have print services. We print for probably half of OKC. You know, he runs that machine. Now, he's not physically printing, but he's taking the orders. He's ordering the apparel.
Inventory.
He's shipping the orders. Like, he does that at 19. You know what I mean? When I was 19, I probably couldn't have thought of half of that. You feel what I'm saying? All the dope images that you see on Instagram, he shot 90% of those. If you go down the website, all those product shoots, he shot that. You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's groomed himself to be that guy. He's come in from.
You can divide the weight, and you know what I'm saying? Because
Exactly.
imagine you doing all that, like,
Shit, at one
it's
point
a
in
lot.
time,
It's a lot.
Yeah, so of course you got to start training the people around
Yeah.
you too. And I've seen his growth. Like the tile that's on the floor when y'all walk, he laid that tile.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about laying no tile. Like, I just look like this, man. The walls, he painted that. Between him and my girl, I'm like, they painted that. They
Yeah.
did that. So he's literally like the jack of all trades. And
And
you know,
that's
like,
that. It's crazy, man. It's like the boss mentality. Not everybody has it. We were talking about that the other day. Like, why is that? That some people like him, he can just show up without anybody having to tell him, and then there's people that just
Yeah. You won't
They
see them
have
people
it.
around
They have
me.
everything around them.
They won't be around me at all because I'm very stern. We probably had 3 arguments today, me and this guy. I'm very stern, but it's all in love and it's all part of the journey.
The
growth.
You feel what I'm saying? So you won't ever see those people around me. I'm gonna make it too uncomfortable for them. You know what I mean? I'm very serious. Like if you don't want to
That's
get
very
up
important,
and get it,
right.
you don't want to get. You won't stand.
You're not in
near
my
me.
circle.
Nah. You know what I mean? Like I'm the fire. You don't get hot standing close to
Yeah.
me. Seriously. And
Okay.
I gotta like stay
Shit.
motivated. I gotta like preach that because it's gonna rub off.
yeah.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
sure.
Like,
I
I'm
forgot
gonna
I preach
where-
that a lot. I
pressure.
preach that a lot. That's why I like sometimes.
I read somewhere that if like you have one really good influential person in your life, but you have 4 people that are just fucked up, that one really good mentor, even if it's LeBron James or whoever, doesn't matter.
It don't
Because you
matter.
got 4.
Energy. You got to separate
Yeah.
them too. I was telling who was that you about that the other day? How to spot the eagle. That's a gift I know how to do. I can spot the eagle and I can separate the eagle. Because eagle don't run in packs. You never see a pack of eagles, do you? Think about it. I can spot the eagle and separate the bullshit. You know what I mean? Immediately. And then, apply some pressure. Because pressure makes diamonds. You feel what I'm saying?
Or it busts pipes.
Yeah. But either one. You know what I'm saying? You apply the right amount, and they stand up. You know what I mean? They gonna be a diamond. You know what I mean? And he's one of them, man. He's one of them. And he did the work. I didn't do the work. He did the work. He had to get up and want to do it.
Who are some of your influences, would you say, like in this type of field?
Like, what, you talking about, like, in the apparel field?
Yeah, hip-hop and apparel.
Shoot.
Like, some people that you look at and you're like, man, I wish
I get my hustle motivation.
Yeah,
you know,
like,
from,
it'd be dope to be out there doing, what they're doing.
Shoot, I don't even be really looking at that type of stuff.
Yeah.
All I know is my uncle. He just,
Yeah.
That's dope.
Nice.
he be want to go get it, so that just make me want to go get it.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's
The fact
something
that he
big.
say that, man, like, let me know he paying attention. You know what I'm saying? I love him, man. Like, seriously, like, I seen him grow from, yeah, man.
No, yeah, you
And
have
they
to
know that, yeah.
That's what I preach. Is like you have to be surrounded by same mentality, like same like hustlers, and like because it's gonna rub off of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Different ideas, different. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
that's very important. That's why I had to cut a lot of people because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you ain't got a drive or a hustle, then like I
At
can
the same time.
I can help you, but I have.
You got to do the work.
You got to do the work, exactly. I
At
can
the
take the
same
horse
time,
to the river. It's up to him to drink the water, you know?
Yeah. At the same time, we got to be open, too. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to preach. But you got to listen, too.
Yeah.
You got to listen. Like, it be times, you know, like, I want him to be vocal, but I got to give him that platform to listen to him. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, now he's designing, right? He ain't talk about that box. He's open. And now I'm so stuck on being the creative. He like, nah, do it. Trust me, do it that way. I'm like, okay, let's try it. You know what I'm saying? Give him that platform. And I'm watching because no matter how much he's around me, he has his own style. You know, even when we design and do jackets and shit like that, of course, with him being close to the manufacturer, he has his own twist to everything. Like, you may have the standard collection, but his shit is like custom. And they see his shit and like, we want that. That lets me know, like, okay, I got to be a boss and pay attention. Like, okay, let me bring him into the creative side of it.
Yeah.
What would you do with that? How would you color that? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That let me know he's growing into his space.
And that's awesome that you're able to do that. Like, just like see the talent in somebody and then give them the tools to just
Yeah. If
just
2
go
years
off.
from now his
Just-
office ain't as big as mine, that mean I failed him. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If 2 years his office ain't as big as mine, in my mind I failed this young man. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I love that mentality. That's
real.
Like, back to the Dame Dash, like he says, everybody in my team we're bosses. Like, we're not. That's not my manager. Like, everybody is just, we're partners and we're doing this shit. You know?
Yeah. And I do it live because I'm sitting here talking about him, right? You know what I mean? But he's listening. He's listening. He's here for a reason. It's my son. He's listening.
Sorry
So
for the few
imagine-
cuss words, buddy.
Nah, you good. You fine. You fine. but he's listening.
Yeah.
Everything that I'm saying, we doing it live in front of him. He's listening. You know, so
Taking
just
notes.
imagine how sharp he's gonna be.
Yeah, man. And that's the
more you
thing
surround
that,
yourself with
I feel like a lot of the young generation doesn't appreciate all the work that the old schools have done for us to be able to have it this easy. You know, like I remember going into SB, his office, and he was basically doing this, you know, like that's where I saw it. I'm like, damn, he's doing interviews, he's doing little documentaries, and I don't know, you know, a lot of times people just don't talk about like all the hits you had to take, you know, in order for you
A lot of
to.
arrows, man. I mean, I don't talk about.
So I
it
guess
because
thank you is what I'm saying
I
for
appreciate
all
it.
those, you know.
I appreciate it, man. Ain't nothing wrong with giving somebody their roses,
Yeah.
man. Showing love is free, man. That shit don't cost a
Exactly.
thing, bro.
Yep.
A repost, a retweet, or just say, hey, man, you dope. That shit free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now that
Yeah.
we're talking about that, I saw that you said women show more love than guys on that documentary. You were like,
Oh yeah, in that instance. Now let's talk about the rap world. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did at that point. Like, I don't know. I think it's the teddy bear effect. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like when I was doing music, my female following was huge. But women are the strongest species on this earth, and they recognize, You know what I mean? They'll recognize the real before, shout out to my girl, actually, like things that I may miss, she gonna always catch. She recognize it. I have people around me that she told me 6 months ago, like, they won't be here long. Like,
they're more
seriously.
sensitive, like they can feel vibes more, maybe.
I ain't gonna say more. Yeah, women are naturally emotional people, but when I say like they pay attention to every single thing, us as men, we might miss something.
We're goofy.
You got your strong backbone, she gonna catch it. She gonna all the time. She's probably never been wrong about somebody. I probably can't name one instance where it was like, you were wrong about him. Never. Immediately, like, nah, he ain't nah.
Why do you think that rappers don't talk about that? Like,
because it ain't the cool thing.
Like E40, I know he has a wife and stuff, but you don't like ever hear him say like,
For one, like people like E40, like they separate the business from them.
It could be
that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and I'm one of people too. Like, I ain't like my relationship is my relationship. It ain't. Yeah. But nowadays we live in an era to where if it didn't happen on social media, it didn't happen. Like, well, if I ain't never seen you with a girl, you single, right? No, wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? My relationship is my relationship.
There's a saying that they say they can't destroy what they can't see.
They can't
or
see.
They don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's another thing too, is like people like to fuck up shit, you know what I'm saying? So if you post too much,
like,
I've always been like,
too.
Yeah.
Like, that should be fake. And I'm a firm believer in this, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you gonna like, nothing wrong with broadcasting your relationship. There's nothing wrong with that.
I've never been.
But if you gonna force feed it to us all day when it's good, show us when it's bad too.
Yeah.
Show me when it's fucked up.
When y'all get the arguments and shit.
Show me everything. Don't show me when it's.
Never been a big fan.
If you gonna force feed it all, then there's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, I'm married, I got somebody on social media. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you gonna force feed it down my throat all day long, you know those people.
Yeah.
Like, he just did that. He just did, I love it. He just did. Show me when it's fucked up too. That's just me.
So you think it's because it's just like not the cool thing to rap about. That's why it's not.
I ain't gonna say the cool thing, but in some instances, some people are just personal about what goes on in their home. Right. I'm one of them people.
Yeah.
I spoke about her because she's a part of this process too. You know what I mean? Huge part. She got to deal with me when we go home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She got to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? And she's a huge part. In fact, Grande will tell you, you know what I mean? When we first got our first screen printer, she did the screen printing. She still screen prints to this day. So I wouldn't have been able to get this leap if I didn't have her screen printing. I could do 100 shirts in a day. You feel what I'm saying? So she's a huge part of this process. So I always want to give her roses, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm very personal about my relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
Shout out to the ladies out there that are the backbones to the.
Shout out to the ladies,
to the structures, man.
Yeah.
So you've been able to build this brand where it's like everybody knows what season is and what's about.
Yeah, man. It's starting to roll. It's starting to roll.
Yeah. So like now you're like, you also have a season unlocked. What is that about?
That's something we just unveiled. Like, we might have to switch seats again. I ain't gonna be the devil on that. I'm gonna let the devil come have a seat.
What is season unlocked about?
Come explain that, man.
Because I see.
It's funny. We had 3 arguments today about that. You know what I mean? So the fact you guys
that's what they were about
is amazing.
Nah, season unlock is just season. Exactly what it is. It's season unlock. Season. The name season means more than just being a vet. You know, it's something.
A network.
Yeah, it's something many, something that's sprinkled on. It's like a version of swag, but at a upgraded version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So season unlock, man. What we're doing is basically giving people game, positivity, and trying to give some of the knowledge that we have in us on an every single day basis that he's been doing here on this podcast and he does with all his customers all the time. Just giving it to the people. People want to see that. They love him talking. He just don't like to talk to people like on the internet. He don't like the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want people to sit there and see like how many people season that actually. No, I don't mean to cuss, but actually fuck with season.
Yeah.
Some of the big names like they wouldn't even have guessed that you guys fuck with season.
Yeah.
And like the OGs like the Nitros and the SBs. These are seasoned vets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, There's all types of people, whether you
Eddie Brasco, pulled up Saturday.
Yeah.
He seems like he's a regular. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, brand ambassador shit.
I want the people to see who actually fuck with Season and who Season fucks with.
Yeah.
Because they got game that the younger generation like these kids over here, they need to hear.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? So that's what Season Unlocked is. That's it.
Hell yeah, I fucks with that.
And I can't take no credit for that, man. Like I said,
I think everybody needs a guy like
Grind.
My bad, bro. It takes me a minute to get the names. I'm terrible because he's pressuring you
Get
to
your
like
shit together, Darwin.
to level up, man. Like
hell yeah, and he does that. Like he gets me out of my comfort zone all the time.
Off camera.
That's what we were arguing about today. You know what I mean? Like I am who I am, and sometimes I don't like to change with the times. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of game being spilled in 243 West Wilshire. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna apply the pressure. Are we getting a podcast or not? Are we getting a season podcast?
We're gonna get it. Chop It Up Daily podcast. We're gonna get it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna finally push forward. We're gonna do it, man. Shout out to Grind.
Yeah, I felt yeah, see,
so that,
yeah, hell yeah. See, and it's beautiful to watch, like you say it right now, and then I know it's gonna happen. For sure. It's gonna happen. So just seeing the progress, and when we have you back in 6 months, a year, like, damn, bro, like,
where do we left off? You guys are doing too, man. Y'all definitely inspiring, man. Because before y'all see me, man, I knew who you guys were immediately. I don't watch it. I watched Paulo on her.
Yeah.
In fact, I just see Israel on her.
Yeah.
Listen. I've been since Israel was like seriously.
Crazy,
him on the platform now. I'm like, wow.
And he's doing his own thing too.
I see that. Hell yeah.
Infatuated.
And this is what I love about Israel too. He's creating his own lane. He didn't come to like, hey, Chop, help me. He did his own thing.
Yeah.
He literally like, let me do the work. He didn't go ask his daddy hey, can you design this? He did it himself.
He's like, get out of the way.
Hell yeah. I've seen him come together. Like I got Israel at Caden's first birthday party, like pictures. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
I seen it.
So your relationship with Jay Paulo is solid.
Solid.
Man, shout out to Jay Paulo because he's a huge part
I argue with him today too. Seriously.
That guy right
bro.
there.
He's one of our solid, man. Like he's made all of our logos right here.
If we talk about reading vibes though, that guy right there.
The guy, yeah.
If he fucks with you, he fucks with you. If not, he's gonna.
I met him the day after I signed my deal. You know what I mean?
And he was deep too, doing all like graphic designs, covers, and all this shit.
This is like him starting.
So he's one of the.
He tells me, he's like, I used to love Presidential Trap House.
Yeah, he's a part of it. Like, listen,
they used to give me work.
We brought him. They took me to him the day after I signed to like get like a photo shoot done. This cat named Amir used to shoot photos, and Paulo was doing the editing, the graphic design. And I used to try to talk to him all the time, like, hey, bro, can you make me look like this? Because, I didn't know nothing about graphic design. And he'd shoot these photos, and he'd be like, all right, do me a favor. Just email me everything. I'm like, what, man? Wait, stop. And he would leave. So we shoot again. I'll be like, hey, can you do? He's like, just email it to me. Man, and like the third shoot, I'm like, bitch, I ain't even got no fucking email. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold on, wait, what you say, Ryan?
You good, man. At this point, I don't care, bro. The content's there.
I apologize.
You good, man.
Fuck the algorithm.
Oh, man, for real. Whoever want to watch it, watch it. If not, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
you missing out. You missing out, period.
But what's dope is he sat down then and was like, I'm going to create you one.
Yeah.
Let's create one. We made my first email. He's like, are you on MySpace? Let me set you up on MySpace. We did that then. You feel what I'm saying?
The thing with Jay Paulo is that he doesn't. He could have like got away from the rap scene a long time ago and done like, because he has the talent to just do whatever for restaurants or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, that's where I started, and I want to help the people out. Like, he really does it for the love, man.
He's that season. We're not open on Mondays, but Monday is the most like high energetic day. Monday creates our week. So Monday we in there designing, creating, print or like he's there every Monday. You know what I mean? You're gonna see Grind in there. Like Monday is the day, like we prep for the week, we set our goals, and we get it done. So you coming on a Monday, it ain't gonna be like Saturday.
I think it's a different mentality, different shit.
Yeah. I literally, like I said, we literally argued all day today. But out of all those arguments, like we were able to transition into something beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Monday's my favorite day. Monday's my favorite day. I'm gonna tell you that. It's just because it's like it's the start of the week, and like that's gonna dictate how you end the week. You know what I'm saying?
These are
So
facts.
I love Mondays.
That's
That's
facts. Thank God. It's
So
Monday.
on Mondays, are you guys in there? People can still come to the store and
Hell yeah! Listen, I don't give a damn what's going on. You hit me directly, we gonna crank that motherfucker up.
but you got
I'm
the
serious.
creative
I
team
tell
back
you.
there too.
Yeah, we wouldn't open on Christmas Eve. You know, I try to do when I was working, I hated to go to work on Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
right? So I tell my nephew, like, you know what? Man, take a paid day off, man. We gonna shut it down. You think the people cared? No, they were pulling up.
hey,
Like, hey, we're outside, like hitting the DM, like, y'all not open? It's Christmas. We want a shot. You think
Yeah,
you
man,
wanna
I was
stay
I was
home?
thinking that about dispensaries and like liquor store because I was trying to get a little crunk and they were all closed, bro. Like, why would you be closed on?
Yeah, but he like, what? He don't like I have to make him go home. He catching all in play like a hustler should.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I don't care what's going on. If you hit me, we pull it up. We gonna
Yeah,
come. We
yeah.
gonna catch it. That's what made us who we are. We gonna go the extra mile. You know
what you think made Kanye is the fact that he was a workaholic.
What?
Married
Yeah,
to the
I work
hustle.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care how much talent you have.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on.
Hard work
Hard
always
work.
is gonna
Trumps
Be
everything.
talent.
be always.
If talent likes to work hard.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I move into the space, we gonna flourish. I'm gonna outwork everybody. You know what I mean? In my mind, I'm just set out to do that.
And that's the thing. That's the one thing we can't control because there's a lot of shit that we can't control. So
Yeah.
how much you work, you can't control that. So
Facts.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts.
So here in 5 years, where do you see season? Where do you see yourself?
Of course, with me being a young, handsome, black business owner, of course, I got other ventures that we building outside of season. 5 years from now, of course, with brands, my thing is to move season more into the premium area. You know what I mean? And maybe introduce something that it can kind of run neck and neck with.
When you say premium, you're talking about like more fashionable.
Yeah, we're gonna step it up. I had to inch our customer base up.
Shit.
Yeah, I think like we just introduced like Letterman jackets and stuff like that this year. This is year 3. I could have did that year 1.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But I'm a firm believer in slow cooking the bird.
Right.
And watching it, like being transparent and letting the customer grow with the brand. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
So of course, within the next 5 years, we will be around. You know what I mean? But we'll be in a probably a little bit more premium space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, we working on some other things to kind of run as an alternative to streetwear. You know what I mean? Because true enough, we love the streetwear every day, but some days I might want to be casual. I might just want to step into a casual space.
Yeah.
And I want season to kind of exist in this world and build something that can exist here. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely be keeping an eye on the fashion thing because I do like fashion. Is just certain brands. I mean, they're too expensive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I'm definitely gonna tap into the fashion side because I'm always fascinated by that.
since we're talking about minority business, what would be your top 3 tips to a minority owner coming up?
First and foremost, stand for something. You got to stand for something, man. At some point in time, like you can't just sell out your integrity. You know what I mean? You can't just do anything for money. You know what I mean? It's just certain things. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how big the check is. I just ain't gonna do it. I done missed out on numerous opportunities. You know what I mean? I've had people bring me, at this point, astronomical amounts to be a part of this brand or to take the brand to places that the average person probably would have been like, man, you crazy. But I just can't do certain stuff for money. You know what I mean? I don't care. They ain't gonna never stop printing it. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna always find a way to get it. So at least stand for something. 2, be out willing to work everybody. Like, let's stop sugarcoating it, man. Like, come on. Like, some of us get comfortable, with winning.
Yeah, comfort.
It's happening around me. You know what I mean? Like, I've had people around me just getting comfortable with winning.
Yeah.
Like being the top streetwear brand or being attached to the top streetwear brand. It's like, nah, I'm cool on that. You know what I mean? Like, just because we winning in this game, it's only 2 directions. It's up and down, and you're constantly moving. You constantly go in one of the directions. I understand it's peaks and valleys, but at the same time, we got to just keep that hunger, keep that burn. You know what I mean? Like, work like you ain't never had shit.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
3, I'm gonna say, man, keep it independent. You know what I'm saying? As much as possible. Just be willing to put forward the work. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes it do cost, but in my mind, if I'm investing in me, it's a sure thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be different if I was, investing into the stock or something like that. Okay, sometimes you can't control that. But if I'm investing in me, I know I'm going to get up and go work hard every day. I understand that. I control that. You know what I mean? So try to be as independent as possible.
Hell yeah.
That would be my top 3.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this, that we can finalize if you guys don't have anything else. If you had to go back in time and tell yourself something like 5 years ago, going back now, what would it be? If you had to tell yourself something.
5 years ago?
Yep.
Damn, that's
5 years ago, you gotta go back a little further.
Yeah, 5. Like,
So you say further?
You gotta go back about
So 10, 15.
15.
Let's do 15. 15 years ago. Tell yourself something. What would it be?
I probably would have transitioned out of the street a little faster than what I did. I probably would have told myself, like, okay, that's it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Like, stop being afraid to invest into yourself. Like I said, I ain't always been this way. In the beginning, I was kind of stagnant. You know what I mean? I think that probably would be it. Like knowing when to pull the reins.
Yeah.
Like accepting the fact that the streets are a lie. You feel what I'm saying? They're a lie. No matter what we try to, like paint and like the streets are a lie. Like everything that we've been kind of taught as far as keeping it real and doing this and that. A lot of that shit ain't real. A lot of that shit ain't really what that is. You know what I mean? So definitely I would have told myself, like, okay, tap out a little early, like pull the reins.
Yeah.
Like you've done that. Now invest and do something different. You know what I'm saying? Because I probably wouldn't have went through some of those valleys if I hadn't have, kept pushing that line. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's
So I heard Freeway Rick Ross, like he was like, there was so many times that I like flirted with the idea of I'm gonna stop, and I'd slow down a little bit, but it was like
It don't happen like that.
yeah, he was like, it was like the biggest addiction basically. He was
It is. And I got a song called Addicted that I wrote back when I was going through my situation. It's talking about that. Like, I was addicted to the street. I literally was addicted to the lifestyle. I was addicted to everything that coming on with that shit.
If you can do a verse, might as well do it. We have every rapper do a verse.
Nah, I ain't gonna do no verse, man.
Because I was thinking about doing a compilation, bro.
but
There's a lot of people that freestyle.
That's what we were arguing about earlier. That's why his face lit up when you said that.
If you would have did a verse, I promise I would have fought him right here.
Shit.
Yes,
We got grind over
because
here.
he wants me to exist more in the music space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I have this following of people that have no idea that I did that. A lot of people gonna watch y'all podcast and be like, wait, the season guy used to rap?
It's crazy that I showed him. I was like, bro, I think the seasoned guy used to rap, and then I came in here.
Yeah, we searched it up. It was like,
I was
oh
like, yeah,
shit,
bro, that's crazy.
But I never voiced that when I said that because I like season to exist in its own space. But for the people who know, when they walk in there and they see me, it's like seeing a ghost. He'll tell you. Like, he'll tell you, you got people that they're in there faint. Like, what the fuck? Even if I'm just in motion, being regular, because they know.
Yeah.
They had no idea that I was attached to season. But they know, like, oh, shit, is that who? I see it all the time, man. My son can tell you. He can tell you. Like, and it just makes them love the brand more like, oh, my God. I'm telling you, it's dope. You know what I mean? I just let the brand stand alone. And
that's good though. You're like the rap is in a different entity.
Yeah, that's already past. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we were arguing about. Like I said, literally earlier today, man. You got to think, but he's my DJ. Not only is my DJ, he's like one of my best friends too. So no matter what I do and say, he's going. The rap world that's. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just transitioned out of it to where I just rather be like the big homie. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So my bad. Now that we're talking rap, can you talk about the Boosie? Because you have a song with Boosie, huh?
Yeah.
Were you the first artist out of Oklahoma to have a song with?
No, that's a female. My dog Youngin got a song with Boosie.
Yeah.
But before
Shout out to the KGE boys.
That's my dog, man. In fact, we just did their first dispensary, Cottonmouth dispensary.
Yeah.
We did all the decal work, all the print work, the merch. I did that.
Oh, nice.
And they new joint Petro that's coming. We just did the decals, all this shit. We did the whole layout over there.
Nice.
T-shirts, all the merch. We did that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So shout out to my dog Youngin. That's my dog, man.
Hell yeah. They've been at it too, working hard and shit.
I did all the KG up here. In fact, Indica did their logo too. You know what I mean?
Telling you.
Yeah.
He stamped the whole city, man.
Yeah, man.
That boy stamped the whole city.
I like to say I'm a part of a lot of people's story.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Anything else you guys want to cover?
Man, I think I asked everything I had to, man.
For real.
Oh, I think we said the Boosie situation. How did you?
We just kept running into Boosie. First time I met Boosie, we was in Florida. I think at the first Ozone. Man, this is crazy. On my floor at that time. Now keep in mind, we all hustled artists, right? So there was no star factor. It was like me, Fox, Devin the Dude, Paul Wall. Our rooms were like next to each other. So the whole weekend, we just kind of vibed and was fucking with each other the whole time. And that was Friday and Saturday. Sunday is when Boosie and Webby came. You know what I mean? And, they ended up smoking with some of my partners and just chopping up. That was the first time I met him. And, I just introduced myself like, I'm from OKC. If you ever in OKC, tap in with me,
Yeah.
The second time I met him was in like Houston somewhere, I want to say. But long story short, I introduced myself again. We chopped it up. He ended up coming to Langston for something. He had something going on in Langston, but he had a show in Tulsa the next day. And they reached out to us. His manager, I forgot his name at the time, but they called us like, hey, is this OKC? What's going on this chop? I'm like, yeah, who is this? He's like, Boosie's here, y'all met, shit, what's going on? I'm like, oh, well, shit. We drove down Langston. I think Manny chopped it up with him then. He had a show in Tulsa. We ended up going out to the show, just make sure it was good. And we just chopped it up and we talked about music. He like, let's go to the studio. Let's knock it out. And we literally went to a studio in Tulsa. I don't remember the studio was. It's been years, but this was dope about it. The promoter found out we was on the song with him, and they booked me to do the show that night to do that song. I'm like, I don't even know this song.
Do you think that they maybe strategically did it because they knew that you had like pull in the streets over here? They were like, let's go do a song with Oklahoma over there.
I just honestly think probably, when you come into somebody's community, like if you met them and they cool, it's cool. And plus, you might want good smoke or something like that. You want to, you could go to the dispensaries back then, you know what I mean? So you want to reach out to the, people in that space and make sure you straight. And, and we ended up doing the show that night. We chopped it up. We did the record. And, that was it. You know what I'm saying? Rashida, who's on Love and Hip Hop now. Funny thing is, I remember her telling me about Love and Hip Hop back then. She was like, yeah, we about to do this like reality show thing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be real big. It's called like Love and Hip Hop. And it's like, okay, I didn't think shit of it. Now look.
Yeah,
this is crazy. She came to town like right before we dropped it, and she had a car show. We had a car show, and she performed and heard the record, and she jumped on it then too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's how that happened.
Nice, man.
Damn.
This is just stuff I wanted to hear, man.
No, it's crazy. A lot of
everywhere.
history.
We seen him at the Ozone in Houston. Like after we did the song, it was a big ass fight in the club. We was just kicking it, going crazy, and R.I.P. Shawty Low too, because he was there. Big ass fight break out. We had our vans in the front, and I remember we taking off, going outside, getting in the vans, and some of his partners was in my van, and some of us went over there, and it was just like a funny moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Shawty Low ended up taking our van that night, you know what I'm saying? And long story short, it was hella dope weekend, you know what I mean? R.I.P. Shawty Low, man.
But you got history, brother.
Man, we got stories like that for days.
That's crazy.
Do you think Boosie will ever transition into like I can't see Boosie now rapping. Like I think Boosie's gonna.
Boosie a hustler, man. Boosie a hustler.
Yeah.
As long as it's money and rap, he'll be around.
Yeah.
But Boosie a different kind of hustler too, man. This dude, man. Hey, man, he be at the show taking $100 pictures, man. He a different kind of hustler.
Yeah.
Shout out to Boosie, man.
Yeah. So, anything else?
That's about it, man.
Yeah,
That's about all the questions I have.
Hold up, can I get my son to come say a few things, man?
Yeah, for sure.
He probably deal with me more than anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come step up to the plate, young fresh.
You can adjust it so when you sit down, you can, like on the bottom.
All right.
And then that on the bottom, it has a little.
He too short.
On the bottom, it has a little.
Just press
It's
it.
under, underneath the seat. It's a little. There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Introduce yourself, man. Let him know who you are. Say what's up. He wanted to come he never been to a podcast, so I thought I'd bring you, man.
What's up? My name Katie.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 11.
11. Okay. And what you think your role is going to be within 5 years from now in the company?
By like the 3 years, I think I'm gonna be in his spot.
Yeah.
Already.
He going to the top of the food chain. He going to skip one day.
That sun goes right there, man.
He going to the top. Hey, man, that's good aspirations, though, man.
And then at the 5th year, I think I won't even have to go in there at that point, because at that point we should already be warning people instead of having to reach out to people like, hey, can you come work for us? People want to be like, hey, I want to come work for y'all.
Shit.
You're gonna be at the crib just on the phone, making calls, like
I'm talking back
Suited
to
up like, hey, I'm making business move here. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. That's dope, man. That is dope, man. That is very dope, man. So, where do you, besides your dad, do you have anybody you look up to? Or is it just strictly your dad? Like,
It's just mostly him, because
Yeah.
you don't know. I'm with him, so I know he not faking all the I got this and I got that. By all the other rappers, they could be like, I got this, and then go home and go sleep on the air mattress.
that's real stuff right there, man.
man, there's this guy Charles White I've been following, and he's like,
Hey, man, is that the cat from Forward?
yeah.
Man, wow.
He's like, show me your furniture. I want to see how you living.
That's crazy, man. So,
What's one lesson you've learned from your dad that you always remember? Like you always just have it in the back of your head.
Okay, so it's not about the money now, it's about the money later. So it's like I used to be like work, do my little folding, and then like, where the money at? And then he's like, it's not about now, it's about later. So I'm talking $1 million stuff right now, and you gonna be like a millionaire later from listening to all the stuff that's going on. So now I do the work. He paid me. If he don't pay me, he don't. Cause I know
cool with it.
I'm gonna be better than him when I get older.
Hey,
shit.
these are facts.
Bruh.
These are facts, man.
That son goes right there, man. I'll be a proud.
There's a Mexican.
I'll be a proud father, man.
there's
Like
a-
shit.
man. You know
This
what I'm
rapper,
saying?
and he has a bar. He's like, just like my dad, but I'm a better version. I'm like, yeah,
That's crazy, man. Like,
never even
if
thought
I
of
have
that.
a son that's competitive like me, bro, woo, game over, man. We gonna take over. That's it. Like, you know what I'm
over.
saying? That's dope, man. So,
It's amazing.
Thank you
man.
for those words, man.
for real, that's a lot of like knowledge that you're giving.
Yeah.
A lot of free game that.
And I don't make it easy for him either.
Yeah.
I don't make it easy
Yeah.
for him. You know what I mean? Like, I give it to him, but I let him know, like, hey, listen, it's a lot of people that would love to sit in that seat. You know what I mean? Like, earn that spot. I know you my son, but you have to earn it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that reminds me, like what he said. There's a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
It's that Porter. I got it on my desk right now. Shout out
man.
to Steve.
That's
She just
a
brought it
hit.
to me to read it.
So yeah,
That's
that's
a
basically like one of the biggest lessons I got out of that one is like the kid got annoyed at after a while. He was like, "Man, you're not paying me enough." And then the dude was like, "Well, you can just go, like if you
don't understand what I'm,
yeah." But he's like
We've
the
had that conversation a couple times. You know what I mean? He like,
Yeah.
hey, man, I'm trying to get paid. Like, now.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've had to have that conversation, but he understands now. He got his own little bankroll, you know what I mean? He put it together.
No, that's admirable that he's already thinking like that.
Right,
'cause-
right.
Yeah.
So your role right now, your position in within the season. What do you do right now? Are you
Right,
just trying to learn?
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Yeah, still learning.
But right now, I put neck labels in some of the shirts, well, most of the shirts, and then I fold shirts as well. I learned how to work the counter, like the cash register.
Capture. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The cash register. I haven't learned inventory yet, but I'm learning how to do that because that falls in line with the counter, and I'm still learning right now.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that.
Starting from the register.
Yeah,
That's the most important place.
That is dope, man. That is dope. Like I'm excited to see the progress, man. And like 5 years from now, you're gonna be the CEO, man. Like, damn, you said it, man. Like, I can see that happening, man. Yeah. So, where can they find Season Apparel? The address, the website, and all the social medias, man. Give it out there.
The website, seasonclothing.com. You know, you can catch all the drip, you know, from the accessories to the fleece to everything at seasonclothing.com.
Where's the exclusive, though?
Yes. Now, if you want the experience, you have to come into our storefront location, which is 243 West Wilshire. We're located in Suite E, and that's in Oklahoma City, right on the north side. We have items and exclusiveness in the storefront. We did that on purpose. We want you to kind of walk in and kind of get the season experience. You know what I'm saying? You can follow us on Instagram at Season Apparel, Season Unlocked.
That's the new joint.
Yeah, and of course our OKC location has a flagship Instagram also, which is Season Clothing OKC. You know, print. If you guys need print services, you can email us directly at seasonclothinginfo@gmail.com.
Okay.
You know, and that's from anything from fleece to hoodies to joggers, pretty much anything in the print space we can take care of, and embroidery also.
Okay.
So yeah, we move into that space heavy.
Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and soon to be also podcast. We're applying the pressure. So
Chop It Up Daily coming soon.
Yeah, man, we appreciate the love, man, and just the support, man. And it's like, thank you, man. Thank y'all.
Guys,
thank y'all, man, for really stopping by, man. So we're gonna wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.